Здравствуйте, подписчики.
Hello to all subscribers of the best and most informative channel about life and real estate in Turkey. Apartments in Turkey and real estate in Turkey, these are the things many of you are interested in. How do you avoid making a mistake when purchasing real estate in Antalya? Whom can you turn to for help? Where can you find a professional real estate agency in Turkey that will do their job fairly and safely? What should you pay attention to prior to picking your agency? It is very important to consider how long the agency has been in business. Equally as important is to know if the agency has an office and employees in Turkey that will be able to help you whenever. But the most important thing are probably customer reviews from real people who are ready to share their story and their opinion about our work. Today, we will be joined by Ekaterina and Oleg, who've recently purchased an apartment in Antalya. Our agency's top specialist Rustam and Ekaterina were assisting them with that. I am Sergey Volchenkov, the development director of Turkey's leading real estate agency Tolerance. All the interesting parts will follow in a moment. Stay tuned. To start, let's mention that you bought an incredible apartment at the best and very convenient location. There, living, renting, or selling it if need be would be very fast and easy. And on this note, let's talk about the purchase. How did you ever decide on Turkey specifically? Why did you choose to buy your apartment here? And how did you ever come up with that? Why Turkey specifically? Yes. To be honest, we had a bunch of other options in mind at the time. We just knew that we wanted to purchase property abroad, and we've thought about it for quite a while. We were even considering Cuba. Yes, that was a thing at some point. But in the end, we settled for Turkey, even though we've never been to Antalya before. When we first came here to buy an apartment, that was our first time in this city. Before Antalya, we'd spent a couple of holidays in Marmaris and Kemer, but those were purely for vacation. We never looked at properties and just stayed in hotels. And when we came here, that's when we decided we want an apartment in Turkey. We really liked the options available here and the quality of these apartments. We enjoyed the climate and the fact that we can take a direct flight to Turkey from our home without any hassle. That's why we chose Antalya. There were, and still are, tons of direct flights from Yekaterinburg, where we live, to Antalya. This was very convenient for us and practically sealed the deal. As I've said before, the first time we came here was to buy an apartment. We ended up falling in love with this place. This, of course, helped us solidify our decision. Oleg and I considered Kemer and Marmaris, but they've never had quite the same homey feel to them. Here, on the other hand, we felt right at home from the very start. It was like a good hunch, like I've said before. A hunch, I see. Okay, and how did you decide on Tolerance? Was that also on a hunch? It was all thanks to Ekaterina right here. I started searching for a good agency right away because from the jump we decided that we would only purchase through a professional agency. I contacted Sergey at first and he directed me to Ekaterina. I believe that she was the one who contacted me first and introduced herself, and we got to talking, eventually arranged the call, and I decided right then and there. She was very incredible, explained everything so clearly, and was very accommodating. She was ready to hear and answer any of my questions, of which I probably had millions. So, fast forward to when you arrived at your hotel and arranged the meeting with Ekaterina. Yes, we scheduled an appointment with Ekaterina, but it was actually Rustam who came instead. Yes, finally, I was waiting for my compliments. So that's how we got introduced to Rustam. He was like our guide into the world of real estate, for lack of a better term. He drove us around, answered all of our questions, showed us apartments, and was very, very honest at that. His honesty is what led to our trust. We drove around and looked around and saw many options. It was going smoothly, and there were tons of choices, and all of them obviously had their pros, but none of them gave that homey feeling that I was talking about. We even picked one out already, and we were on our way to view it the second time, if you remember, Rustam. But what happened is that it got snatched up right from underneath our noses while we were busy strolling around and making up our mind. You know, the best thing is that we're lucky that it got bought before us. Yeah, that's the best thing because I believe that if it were meant to be, it would be. But that one wasn't meant for us. Oleg was saying, I'm sure everything will work out. I started getting worried, you know? It was such a good apartment that was taken away. But it was a bit upsetting, not going to lie, but we found an even better one. It worked out so well, all thanks to Rustam. It was a really good place, close to the beach, and quiet, with just the perfect location. There would not be another one like it. And then we started the process, registration and opening a Turkish bank account, which took a while. Yeah, that didn't work out quite as fast. It's something about their new system where Turkish banks do not want to deal with foreigners. They trust our company though, since we've been in the field for so long, which is why we have an agreement with them to help our clients open Turkish bank accounts. I would also like to add that the registration process was taking place during our second visit, meaning now, when we're actually recording this video. When we arrived, you organized a wonderful transfer for us, from the airport straight to the suites that you got for us, where we're staying right now. You helped us settle in and we really love it, they're wonderful. It is very convenient for the duration of the process. Right now, our new apartment needs a little work done here and there, and some cleaning, and during that time we're staying at those suites. It's very convenient, and thank you very much. How did you like your first time renovating your property in Turkey? Were you worried about this at all during the purchase? Of course I was worried. I had no idea where I would find the workers. Do I just walk out onto the street and say, I need someone to do repairs? Where do I look for them? How does it even happen? That's when Rustam stepped in once again. We told him that we wanted work done, although to be honest, it was actually his initiative. He was the one who walked into the apartment and pointed out some bits like, oh, here, it would be nice to renovate this and that, and told us he would help us again. That's good, we even saw the end result just now. What surprised me was how quickly these workers did their job, unlike back in our home country, where they come, look around, and say, we'll start in a week or two, without any sense of urgency. Here, he came, looked around, and started immediately. Went to the store and bought everything he needed. We didn't have to do a thing. We just lounged around and waited for him to finish. Ekaterina, please share with us, how long did the documentation take you? How long until you finished the registration process? Around 2 to 4 days, not more than that. It was mostly at the notary, translations, getting a taxpayer number and withdrawing money. Yes, but I would like to point out that most of the process was done by tolerance while we were still in Russia. When we came, a lot of the documents were ready and we practically didn't have to do a thing. We just had to go to a couple of places and sign a couple documents and that's it, we got our tapu. Got the keys already. Any professional agency should always consider the client's interest first. When we meet with a person, first of all, we try to find out the exact reasons for the purchase. What goals do they have in mind? Do they want it for a vacation spot? Or do they want a residence permit as a result of the purchase? Do they want it for profit? Or are they buying it for their relatives? Meaning that before we show anything to our clients, we tend to spend quite a bit of time with them in order to understand their true intentions and true needs. And only after that our specialists start with the process of picking out properties and suggesting them. So a professional agency tries to first of all understand their client, and only then we can recommend them districts, any property developers, any specific things, or any other advice based on our experience accumulated over 20 years in the industry. This all depends on our client's budget, of course. Considering that we value every single client and we care a lot about our reputation, we'll hear the person out and only then offer them options that we believe would suit them the most. By now, we've perfected the process and it's very easy. Most of it's done online now anyway. That's why it's like that. You just arrive and already have most of the work done. The documentation process is very convenient. You just come out, sign a couple papers, and leave the place with the certificate of ownership already in your hand. Are you satisfied with your purchase? Are you satisfied with the service that Tolerance has provided? And do you not regret choosing to work with us? And will you invite us to your housewarming party? You're invited 100%. We're happy with our purchase, also 100%. And did you meet our expectations? 200%. We are very happy. Everything worked out really well. I think the fact that we left our money in your safe and came back to find it safe and sound just speaks volumes about your company. Because as you know, many people that travel abroad to purchase a property are always worried about being scammed out of money somehow. We have definitely enjoyed working with Tolerance in this situation, and you never broke our trust. We're very happy with the purchase. Something I would also like to point out is just the human factor, about how our interactions were not just over the phone type of cold realtor-client type of relationships. It was more like a friendship. It really felt like it. Sergey also helped a couple of times, stepped in and answered some questions we might have, and we just feel so much safer knowing that you're still around to help us. Ekaterina, Oleg, we're very thankful to have your trust, and we're so happy to have met you, that you actually came despite the current situation in the world. It was really nice meeting and working with you. You're always so easygoing and just pleasant to work with. We sincerely hope that you will be happy at your new place for many years to come. On this note, we'd like to invite you over to our home and just show you the location and just the building itself. Basically to brag. Of course, how could we not?
Subscribe to our channel and get the best professional advice.